What's up? How we doing? I'm gonna tell you this beforehand. I don't know why in some of my videos this tends to happen that like the lighting is coming from one side, and then because my front two teeth are a little forward, it literally looks like I have no teeth over here. Like I recorded a video before. I'm not gonna mention which one, but like it looked like I had like cavity or I didn't have a teeth here. So I do have all my teeth, alhamdulillah. Anyways, getting on with the video. I don't have anything prepared for this video. No notes. No mental notes, nothing at all. But you know what makes me so confident? Because I just saw Martin and Hamza's video, and Hamza was so confident that this was gonna be the worst podcast ever, and it actually ended up getting the most views.
It's gonna be the worst podcast you've ever heard.
I notice I tend to literally like zone out a lot of the time, and I tend to really need notes when I'm talking about something I've never first-handedly experienced, but I know that other people experience it, so I just want to make a video about that. But today I've had an experience, and I know you guys are probably gonna go through it or going through it or have gone through it, and now you're just like traumatized. But let me tell you what, we die every day, like every day. I can be so proud while saying that me yesterday was so dumb, okay? But like these are just like small upgrades in our lives, right? But there's like some where it's like in 2024, I was a completely different person than 2025, than 2026, right? So these are what you really call like actual versions of you, right? Like the one that died yesterday was a different version, but like didn't have much of an upgrade. It physically can't have so much upgrade overnight. In most cases, if you did have that much upgrade overnight, that must have been traumatizing shit. Anyways, so what my point here is that I recently experienced something, right? And this is something that I've experienced before. However, before I would cope with this thing in a way, right? Like I knew what was gonna happen. I was gonna crash out, I was gonna break down, cry for 3 days, whatever that is, right? Except kind of the same situation happened again, like really recently. Only this time I was really numb to I was really numb to the feeling. I didn't have a crash out, I didn't cry, I didn't have a breakdown. I think a part of the reason was if I was going through something like that, I didn't immediately go and start listening to songs. I actually turned on the Quran this time. But yeah, that's probably a major reason. But also, even after some time, after giving it time, after trying to let it out, right? Because I knew that I shouldn't bottle up my feelings, I need to let something out, right? I still was so numb. Like, what happened to me, it was so normal for me to think that I was gonna crash out, but I didn't. And then that only made me feel like I'm not feeling enough. And then I literally sat down and like, cry, have a mental breakdown, have like question why you're even alive. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen, surprisingly. Which led me to think that maybe this something that happened isn't the same or even similar to what happened before, because before I was like a total mess, right? But then I realized that was just a version of me. That past version of me was gonna react like that, and it did. But this new version of me is a completely different version because I've had many experiences and many other things that I've experienced throughout since that period of time, since I was that version of myself. And so if I just tell myself that I need to react like my old version, is just gonna send me back to that time loop. Okay, and recently I've been struggling a lot with trying to get my life started again, like trying to do some crazy shit and like do risky stuff, whatever, to just like feel alive. Because I feel like feeling even sad or nervous or embarrassed is better than feeling nothing. Anyways, that's another topic. But what I'm trying to say is that like I feel like a lot of other people go through this as well, where they expect themselves to like react in a way that they know that their past versions would have reacted, and they say this to themselves or think this to themselves without even knowing that they've evolved, without even knowing that like that version of you that reacted that way last time was a different version of you. Like sometimes we forget to analyze the fact that that version has died. Like sometimes we just think I'm gonna become a new version of myself because I just thought it, because I just know that I'm gonna become a new version of myself at New Year's, right? But you don't actually stop to notice that I have become a new version, and that version of me that I was trying to get out of has already died. And so I think it's important to bury the dead. I mean, not that it's gonna come back to life, but I feel like, because it's not possible. If you think that your past version is coming back to life, it's impossible. Trust me, because that version of you had not experienced the things that you have experienced now. It's physically impossible in the universe. Why am I stuttering? It's physically impossible in the universe for you to be that version again. You could be, this new version of you could shape itself to be so similar to that version, but it will never be the same. You will never be that same person. If you wanted to be that same person, the only way is to erase your memories, because the experiences you've had aren't going anywhere. They're within you. Okay, but that past version of yourself had not experienced those experiences, so you physically can't be that same version of yourself. But this new version of yourself, if you had not buried the last one, could look at it and like literally shape itself to become that last version. And now you're just stuck in this time loop again, and you don't know what to do, and you're the same person, and you think that you're still that same version, but that version had already died. And without you noticing, this new version of yourself, this new opportunity you had to embrace yourself, to like evolve yourself, you didn't even analyze that situation, and then this new version of yourself turned out to become exactly like the old one. You know, sometimes it's actually good to not have notes and to say whatever is in your mind. But you guys get what I'm saying. You guys get what I'm saying, right? You need to be okay with coping with things in different methods. I'm gonna give an example that you guys are actually gonna understand. So imagine this girl is in a relationship, right? And her boyfriend treats her a certain way, right? She told him something happened. Maybe she told him that she cheated on him, and he reacted a certain way. Maybe he literally started beating her up or whatever, which is not right. I'm just giving you an example. And now she's in a new relationship, right? And she has cheated on this new boyfriend again, but this time she told him, and he didn't start beating her. Maybe he just sat down, talked it out, and said that this is over, right? Now, what if she obviously knows that this is a different person, so he has reacted in a different way than my ex, right? But if she didn't know that fact, if she was so dumb to not even know that this isn't the same ex, this is a new person, she'd be like, oh, maybe what I did wasn't as bad because he didn't beat me up. So I can do this again and again. You know, I can, like, last time that I did cheat, I got beaten up, but this time I didn't get beaten up. So maybe cheating isn't that bad of a thing, right? But this person obviously has common sense to know that this person reacted in a different way because he's a different human. The same way, just like those two boyfriends, is your new versions of yourself, okay? The last version of yourself reacted in a different way, and this new version, you need to allow this new version. You can't ask this version to beat you up because your last version beat you up. No, you have to let this version of yourself cope in a different way because it's a different person, okay? And that's not to say that, like, oh, this very similar issue that you're facing right now is not as big of a thing as the last one, because this one didn't like completely wreck you up. Maybe you've evolved, you've upgraded into a stronger person, or maybe a weaker person, it doesn't matter. But just for you to like shut the frick up and analyze that you're a different person is really effing important. Because I don't mean to curse, dude, I'm so sorry. But what I'm really trying to say is that you are gonna end up falling back in that loop, and then you're gonna complain to the universe that you haven't evolved. But when you do get chances to evolve, you just want to go back to the thing that you are so used to, and that's not a good thing. The opportunities that you have to evolve, take those opportunities. And I've learned this the hard way. I had somebody who even told me, like, Fatma, this is your opportunity to evolve. You're always complaining about how you're always stuck in the same loop. And you always say you haven't evolved and stuff. This is your opportunity, so Fatma, take it. And I didn't take it. And I was like, no, I'm like an immature person, so I'm going to be immature, blah, 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 right? And then I regretted it. But at least now, at this point, a little late, but at least I realized that that was an opportunity for me to evolve. But I didn't want that. I still wanted to be that previous version of myself, because no matter how much I complained about that previous version of myself, it was like, it's kind of like a toxic relationship. It's like you complain about this version of yourself so much, but then also the moment that you try to step outside, you come back inside because you're just so used to this toxicity, the thing that you complain about is also your home now, and you're not ready to let it go. So you need to let it go. You need to be uncomfortable. If you're complaining about something, you need to let it go. Okay, you can't be complaining about something but then also like telling the world that you hate this certain thing but then also like keep on going back to it. That is just unhealthy. So it's okay to react in different ways, to be a different person, to handle different situations in different in different manners, sort of. You know, like you don't necessarily have to tell yourself that I'm gonna handle this situation in this way because last time that this happened, I did this, so I'm gonna do this again. No, you're gonna stop and you're gonna ask yourself, what do I want to do? What, not what like she wanted to do. What do I want to do right now? Girl, that was like immense amount of wisdom that just came out of me immediately. I don't know where that came from. Anyways, I suck at doing outros, and I stutter and I'm dyslexic, and I stop talking bad about yourself.
Bye guys, love you so much. Okay, bye.